tonight. We've got apologies from Councillor Roger Johns and Councillor Adam Meyer. We had two elected members, Danny LaFleur and Kristen Murdoch on the teams, as well as the gentleman in relation to Rex Minlaton. So it's the only item on the agenda tonight, so might pass to you and let you run the team through the presentation, and then we're here for questions from the elected members.
Thank you for having us, everybody, and making the time to have this discussion. Obviously, the request, we thank you for actually making us, yourself, available to discuss this, even though the resolution was to say bring it back in January. Well, obviously this is just about Sandy Church Road, but I will talk you through the 4 road stages that we have been undertaking and where they're at, because it's an important context. Quickly, first though, a couple of introductions, if I may. We've got Graham Pugh on the call, Rex's project director. Mr. Graham's joining us tonight. We've got Peter Newbold. Peter Newbold works for SMEC. He's the independent verifier for our project on the roads, and he looks after the construction services for SMEC. And we've also got Charles Hatcher here. Charles is the General Manager for Commercial at McMahon Services Australia. So just as a bit of context, we obviously made the request for approval of the deed of agreement at the last council meeting in November, I think it was the 12th. That included the approval to commence the upgrade of the sill section for Sandy Church Road, but it also included the deed of agreement which we had worked through with council. I might just skip now. Is someone going to share the screen on that end, or do you want me to share it?
Can you share mine?
Yeah, hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Is that on the screen now?
It's not sharing.
Sorry. That's good.
See it now?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. All right, so, important context there. There's really, and this is mainly for people who may not be fully aware, there's 4 key stages to the road construction program. Stage 1, which is already complete. That's the new dip high, which most people would be aware of, at the S-bend at the end. Stage 2 is the intersection at Sandy Church Road on the coast highway there. So that's underway as far as preparations go, and that's a Department of Infrastructure and Transport contract that we have to comply with. So that'll be completed in March or April. Sandy Church Road is the stage 3. There's 2 components to stage 3. One is actually Sandy Church Road itself, and the 2 kilometres of bitumen upgrade that we would be doing between the intersection and basically what would be the mine entrance. So you can see a little tail in under that red box. That's actually the private road into Rex. So we're only really talking about the section in the red box. That was stage 3 for Sandy Church Road. And then of course stage 4, you would have, most people over there would have seen that the major construction piece here, that's the diversion on the coast road. That's well underway, and that will be completed in March, April 2026 as well. So just for context, that's the 4 areas. The reasons why we wanted to run you through this, and we've just said there simply benefits of an early start. The benefits of maintaining our program, we believe, was that it's obviously an improvement in safety for all road users. That's part of the reason why we're doing it. To say, do we need to have bitumen road on Sandy Church Road to the mine access area for Rex? The answer is no. Once you're on the mine site, you're working on dirt roads anyway. But it is obviously better for construction traffic management of the equipment that would be coming in and out of Sandy Church Road. And it also is better for maintenance and the cleanliness of the highway as you drag out off the dirt road onto the bitumen road. The road surfacing or the sealing of Sandy Church Road, we would have been able to complete this within the warmer weather, which reduces the likelihood of any sill failures. And that was a big part of the reason for doing it, as well as the tie-in to doing it at the same time as the intersection works for DIT. And the other benefit for community is that Rex and Council have drafted together a maintenance agreement for Rex Minerals to maintain the upgraded section of Sandy Church Road for the life of the mine, with some conditions on what would be required at the handover, which is a spray seal to bring the road back to a really high standard at the end of the mine life. On the flip side of that, the implications of a late start. Basically, what we are faced with now is that the Sandy Church upgrade seal program will miss the sealing season. Sealing season is obviously up to about March, April for those who don't know, before it gets wet, and that's really important for the condition of the road and potholes and all those types of things in the construction side. So if we miss it now, we miss it until late in the year, and in order to do that again, we would have already demobilised the contractor in the months, and we wouldn't be in a position to remobilise just for that piece of work. So we also had the YP Council requested to provide a maintenance plan. So if we continue that we leave it as a dirt road, and obviously we're going to have a traffic maintenance plan to maintain that road condition that's suitable for all users, including Rex and the public. So that's the main items that we wanted to discuss. And basically, if the council wished to continue, which we still think is a good idea, then we would want to have that discussion before the end of this week, so that we can actually get the required work done that's needed to be done before obviously the Christmas and the traffic management pieces that come along with that side of it. So that's probably the overall picture, and perhaps we could just open it up to the floor to ask any questions.
Councillors?
On the intersection where the Sandy Church Road meets the highway, is there provision for a slip lane there?
Peter, I might get you to answer that question.
Yeah, Mike, you want to go to the next page, please. I think it's the last slide. Yeah, so that's a picture there. Probably the bottom one in colours is the one to understand. But there's a right turn lane into the Sandy Church Road, and then a left turn lane coming from southbound. There isn't a slip lane northbound. I guess that's based on traffic volumes of trucks coming out of the road and having satisfactory side distance back towards the south.
Still on the same intersection?
Yep.
So I presume you're cutting stuff out of there in triple road trains? That's your proposal, is to move product out of the mine site in triple road trains?
No, the product moving out is B doubles, it's not triple road trains.
So you're still suggesting there's no slip lane there. So you're still suggesting that traffic coming from the south, doing 100 kilometres an hour, is going to all of a sudden be up the tail end of a, possibly from a stationary start, loaded B double. With no slip lane.
Yeah, I think what we could do is if we require the level of detail that you're asking for the DIT road requirements. Obviously, this is an intersection that's designed to the Department of Infrastructure and Transport's requirements, using verified contractors that they require, using traffic management studies. We can certainly provide the answer to any of those questions, but yeah, I'd have to just take the rest of that on notice. Because that is the actual Department of Infrastructure and Transport part, that we're talking about there at that intersection. It's not actually part of Sandy Church Road.
Well, on a primary production level, I'm still tussling with the Department of Transport on some of the restrictions they put on where council roads meet dip roads now, and this is just a sealed version of the same issue, where you're going to get a truck coming out of there, possibly from a standing start, with traffic coming up behind it at 100 kilometres an hour. That most definitely needs a slip lane, because it is dangerous, and I know it's what DIP's approval is, but that needs to be revisited, I reckon.
Okay, well, I can take that query on notice, and we can provide that back to council on providing the facts around that with that level of detail. I guess I've come prepared tonight to talk about the 2 kilometre stretch of the council ceiling piece, which goes in line with this work, but this is a separate piece under DIT. So, but as you say, it's in the interest of everybody for safety. So happy to provide that level of comfort that DIT have it covered.
Yeah, well, it also revolves around you mobilising and demobilising your contractors. So if any agreements to be reached on Sandy Church Road, I think the ratepayers are entitled to be happy with the way Sandy Church Road meets the highway, because getting contractors back to do that little bit of extra work is going to be difficult, to say the least.
Thanks, noted. Thank you.
Councillor Dinner?
Is there a possibility of doing Sandy Church Road just half the road at a time, so that the road is still open to traffic, even if it is managed so that it's only one direction at a time?
Peter or Charles, do you want to talk to what the plan is there?
I might let Charles go first from the construction perspective, and then if there's any I'll need to add after that, I will. So Charles, you able to take that one?
Thank you. That's the actual intent during this busy phase, that it would be two-way traffic using what they call contraflow or traffic management. So the road will still be open during this critical time where some construction needs to get down, some local traffic needs to get down, and then we would plan on closing the road completely in January when there was not that same requirement. So our early request is to install services so that we can hit that time frame and still hit the requirement to seal the road.
Yeah, then a bit further. I guess when you build a road, it's ideal not to have a longitudinal joint down the road, because the joints are sort of a weak spot in the road, and they always tend to fail over time. So, given a choice, you'd never build a road in halves or add to a road, you'd always build it full width. And I think we can sort of come up with an option that sort of keeps the local sort of travelling through and sort of harvest traffic flowing through. in the short term, but then the strong preference would be to close it for a period of time, at least the main traffic. It would still let locals who need to access properties immediately off City Road through. Like we did at the Old York Highway, sorry, New York Highway now. But yeah, from a technical perspective, yeah, strongly prefer to build the road full width.
Tanya?
Yes, thank you. We've had quite a late start to harvest and a stop-start due to the wet weather, so it's highly likely that our harvest period will be extended into January. So you've mentioned that you would close the road off in January, so I think we'll still encounter the same issues that we would be if we were to close it off now, in that we'll see interruptions to our harvest traffic movements. Also, there's a lot of disruption on the main coast road with the reconstruction of that road, with the traffic management. Farmers are telling me that they are held up for quite some time waiting to be let through, and that's costing them at least one load, if not two, a day to get to the silos. And when we've got the weather conditions as they are that are challenging enough, that it's also an inhibitor not to be able to get a load or an extra load unloaded during the day. So that's just another challenge there. One other point I'd like to bring up, just backing off from Councillor Hoyle's comments about intersections, and I know we're not specifically talking about this evening, but I think since we've got people in the room, we should talk about it. The Reading Road intersection that it's meeting the new highway, that intersection there is not fit for purpose. There are no slip lanes to turn right or left from the highway onto Reading Road, or vice versa. So we have traffic coming at 100 kilometres an hour, and then this road is expected to then be fit for purpose for road train users to pull out or onto the York Highway, and also to pull off. So with traffic either coming one way or the other on the highway at 100 kilometres an hour. So that really needs to be addressed, and should be addressed while you've got contractors here.
Danny, you got your hand up?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Mike, what I've just heard there is that there is the ability to allow harvest traffic to go through January. Is that a new addition? Because what was proposed to us in our last council meeting and what was on the signage on the road was that road would close from the 17th, which was presumptive of the council decision. So those notifications went up before it was even presented to council. But there was no option in what was presented to us to allow traffic to use that road during that Christmas January period. Is that a new compromise you've come up with?
Do you want to answer that, please?
Yes, I think it's, I guess following the council meeting and some feedback, I guess we went back to the drawing board and worked out what we could do to keep the road open. And Charles has touched on that partially, but the first activity we need to do is to relocate a water main that's currently on the northern side of the road. That's got to get relocated in the south. I think that takes about a month to relocate. We can actually do that and keep traffic open one lane only, so there'll be traffic lights at each end, sort of a short section of one lane only. If I would build that water main, that's probably going to take about a month. I think Charles can just confirm that duration. But that month of the water main relocation will probably get us through that harvest period. And then it gets to be after that harvest period that we'll be looking closer at. I think I can't remember who raised the question earlier about sort of the late harvest and the impacts, but I guess where we are now, it'll be likely that with that water main relocation, that'll get us through the end of harvest. So as one lane only, and then we'd look to close it preferably after that.
So just checking, Danny, is that answered your question?
Yes, thank you. It's good to see that you thought through that process and provided that compromise. Yeah, thank you very much.
What is your construction shutdown over Christmas, New Year period likely to be?
Charles, do you want to answer?
So we usually close down from around 20th and we're back on the 6th of January. I think, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I just missed that.
So we start down on the 19th, returning on the January the 6th.
Right, sorry, just confirm, so that's 19th to the 6th of January shutdown?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I guess what, during that shutdown, McMahon will have a traffic management crew out sort of attending to any call-outs or any issues. So it's not to say they sort of demobilise completely, they will be routine inspections to make sure the site is safe over that period.
So back to you, Danny.
Thank you, Andrew. During that period, will it be a single lane open or will we go back to dual lane whilst the shutdown over the Christmas period? Thanks.
Is that for Sandy Church Road, you'd ask him? Yeah, no, the intention would be to put it back to 2 lanes over that period. So you need to be basics into what is there at the moment over that shutdown period.
Thank you. So to be really clear, it'll shut down to 1 lane for the next couple of weeks. It'll open back up to 2 lanes for a nearly 3-week period over Christmas. Back to 1 lane for January, closed in March. That's what we're looking at the moment?
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Councillors online? No more? Okay, Mayor? You're good? All right. There's no other questions. Thank you everyone, gallery, for coming and have a good night.
Yeah, just one quick comment.
Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
I came from Rossum last Friday night, down to that intersection, and you've got a light tower there, which shines straight in your eyes, as you come round that bit of detour behind the hut now. Can that light be adjusted?